Good morning. My name is Evan Coons, and I am the Family Ministries pastor at the Tigard campus. Today, I want to spend some time with you in Proverbs chapter 4 and looking more closely at verses 20 through 27. In this passage, the author makes plainly clear to us the importance of guarding our hearts and fixing our eyes on what is before us, to set our sight on God and the things above us, as it is our unchanging hope. So let's start in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 20, as the author writes, "My child, pay attention to what I say. Listen carefully to my words. Don't lose sight of them. Let them penetrate deep into your heart, for they bring life to those who find them and healing to their whole body. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Avoid all perverse talk. Stay away from corrupt speech." Let's pause there for a moment. I love how the author opens this. My child, pay attention to what I say. I don't know about you, but often I find myself being one to share my opinion and not listening to others, doing exactly the opposite of what the author is simply asking of us. He begins this passage by seeking our attention in a way that offers care. In other words, just take a moment to breathe and sit in the truth of who God is. The author continues by charging his readers to guard their hearts, our hearts, because our hearts pump life through our bodies. The wisdom and truth of God and who He is never changes, so we must hold tightly to these things in our hearts and not lose sight of them. These things are our health to our bodies. They nourish and keep us advancing forward. In contrast to this, the things of this world are nothing but distraction, constantly peeling our attention away. They don't heal, but instead drain. We must guard our hearts because our hearts are our reflection to the culture that surrounds us. Our hearts are what is seen by others. If we desire to live in a way that points others to God, then our hearts must reflect Him. When we allow rebellion from God into our lives, we display that rebellion to others. But when we guard our hearts, reflecting on His truth, we set His love in motion for culture to experience. Let's finish by reading the conclusion of chapter 4, picking up in verse 25, as the author writes, "Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Don't get sidetracked. Keep your feet from following evil." So, this is how we guard our hearts, by looking straight ahead, by fixing our gaze on what lies before us. See, we make mistakes and we rebel from the love of God pursuing after us. Each day we must shake that reality and choose to look forward and continue walking with God, allowing Him to guide our every step. We can find confidence as we advance forward in life through the truth of Jesus. And I want to encourage you today to be firmly established and sealed in the truth, just as the truth of Christ is solidly placed. I want to encourage you to not stray from this path by chasing distraction and the rebellion that culture encourages, but to find hope and joy in the path before us as we experience the love of Christ supplying life to our hearts.